stand by for action.
Thanks for joining me. My name is Dave Milner. I am the Unpleasant Blind Guy, and I want to welcome you to part 2 of this episode of the Unpleasant Blind Guy on EDL Radio. Now remember, if you want to contact me with comments, questions, show suggestions, Awesome American suggestions, I'm available at UBG Contact on Twitter, on social media or I can also be found as Dave Milner or Agador. That's Aggedor on Mublet, the Tea Party Community, Spreely, Minds, MeWe, or Gab. Now let's begin. You know, the other reason that I find it hard to call it a loss is we don't really know exactly how many votes Tommy Robinson got because, remember guys, the voting took place in the UK on Thursday. Okay, and they didn't start counting votes until Sunday. So, those ballots stayed supposedly in guarded and locked boxes until they began counting them, supposedly. Let me tell you something, guys. Americans are no strangers to voter fraud, and I can't help but believe that a government that would sponsor a terrorist attack on a peaceful political rally would not also involve itself in chicanery when it came to votes, because the last thing that the UK government wanted was Tommy Robinson to be an MEP. No, I don't have any proof that the UK government conspired to commit voter fraud or did anything to the ballots. But again, if you look at a government that is willing to sponsor an attack on a political rally, if you look at a government that's willing to do that, what else would they be willing to do to keep someone from winning the election?
Well, they would basically do a chemical attack on people in Salisbury. That's how far they would go, and try to blame it on the Russians to bring about a nuclear bloody war with them. That's how far this government would go, Dave. And it's been done. It's been proved. There you go. So.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, Jeff, as you pointed out so well, that the other aspect of it was, again, Tommy did not have, as I said, the same resources that everyone else did. Everyone else, if they had flyers, they got them passed out. What happened with Tommy Robinson's flyers? No, yeah, Jeff, as you said, there were postal workers on social media congratulating each other that they didn't pass them out, and yeah, as you say, Jeff, very likely there won't be one.
They're going to be busy over the next couple of weeks, Dave. They're not going to be busy.
Yeah. Let's hope so. But again, it's hard to call it a loss under those circumstances. I would say, in fact, under those circumstances, no, it wasn't a win. Okay, but under those circumstances, I think Tommy Robinson did exceptionally well to get the third highest amount of votes, and just him being a single candidate, an independent. I think that was a remarkable show.
Did he look down, Dave? Did he look down about? No. Tommy, he probably did feel it inside, but no way did he show that. It was a great journey for Tommy. It was a learning curve, and that's what he said during the thing, that he'd learned so much. He'd learned so much, and it's like life, isn't it? Life is a learning curve. Some things and some really nasty people out there who do try to change aspects of the way that you walk your path in life, and that's what they tried to do to Tommy. But so the thing about it is, he's gained more support. The more that they do things, and the more that the Guardian and the Socialist Workers Party paper, takes the piss, the stronger the man gets. The more angry the people get, and the more support Tommy Robinson and his campaign, whatever future campaigns he's going to do, it will just go from strength to strength. You can't keep a good man down, brother. You can't.
Well, no, you can't, and that's it. And we're going to be here, and other people are going to be here. Even if Jeff and I should happen to fall for some reason, there'll be others, and they'll point out the hypocrisy. They'll point out the hypocrisy, Jeff. And right now, I don't know whether you want to call back in, but I could go ahead and play the SHR Media promos if you want me to. You may want to look at the time and see if you want to call back in or not. But if you're ready, I'll go ahead and play the promo.
I'm okay, Dave.
All right.
Yeah, I'm okay for about another 10 minutes.
Cool. All right, man. All right, just looking after you. Okay, guys.
Cheers, pal.
We're now associated with SHR Media, and the English Defense League radio show is being played under my flag at Spreaker.com at the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And it's under my flag, it's the Unpleasant Blind Guy on EDL Radio. And it's being played over at SHR Media, and there's some great programs over there, and we're gonna play a few promos for them now. This is gonna be about 3.5 minutes long.
Just before you do, can we just give a wave to Observational Learning? He's joined us in the chat room, Dave. What a great name, Observational Learning. Thanks for joining us tonight, brother. But yeah, back to you, Dave. Just to let you know, we've got a guest in our chat room.
Well, welcome. And, guys, you're listening to the English Defense League radio show. Here you go.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
From a public locker inside a dilapidated Long Island rail station comes a show designed to piss off liberals using truth, facts, and ridicule. The Lid Radio Show, featuring the conservative voice from the People's Republic of New York, the Lid himself, Jeff Dunnett. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com. At Lid Radio, we fight for the truth, justice, and a good kosher T-bone. If you don't listen, Hillary Clinton might sneak into your bedroom in her housecoat late at night and blame you for her election loss. It's the Lid Radio Show with Jeff Dunnett.
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
The new show on the SHR Media Network, Sackheads Against Tyranny. On shrmedia.com. Go there quick like a bunny, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Wednesday. Live and direct on the SHR Media Network. shrmedia.com. Be there.
Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, a mere 2 miles from the state capital, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon Radio Show can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern, only on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com to listen. You can also watch on the SHR Media Facebook page and the SHR Media YouTube channel. No goldfish were abused in the making of this ad. Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome back to the English Translate Radio Show with your host, Jeff Spider Mitchell. There he is.
Yeah, nice one, Dave.
Yeah, well, thanks, man.
I was just chilling out. I was drinking a cup of tea, and I was just enjoying listening to the advertising. I thought it was pretty cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's pretty good promos. BZ is pretty good at getting people to do promos, and well, I'll have a new one for the Unpleasant Blind Guy on EDL Radio out pretty soon, which you helped with. But the guys, there are good programs on at shrmedia.com and through Spreaker and places like that. And I told Jeff that I had a story about one, and it just shows the kind of sicko people that we have in our governments right now that are running our governments. Okay, this was a story that came off of BZ's show. He interviewed a very interesting guest last night, Tuesday night, and the guest was talking. Is a former law enforcement officer and a former drug enforcement agency officer, and happened to be listening to the police bands in Sacramento, California. Now that's the capital of California. About a mid-sized city, okay? And what he heard coming over the police band was an order to all of the officers on patrol. And the order was, there is to be no proactive policing on this shift. Now, what that means, guys, is that the police officers were told that they were not to do anything if they saw a crime being committed. They could answer a 911 call, but if they saw a crime being committed, they couldn't, or about to be committed, they couldn't go up and snatch somebody up and go, yeah, okay, you're not doing that. Okay.
Well, isn't that a dereliction of their duties, Jay? I'm sorry, apologies, mate.
Well, no, dude, it is okay. Not if they're ordered to. See, and these kind of orders, and also I want to say also that this was not the first time this happened either. Okay, and it's happened in other cities in California and on the west coast of the United States where the police were told by the higher-ups, usually I would guess by the police chiefs who are appointed by the mayors, not to engage in what they call proactive policing. In other words, like I said, patrol officers can just kind of drive around and they're prevented from preventing crimes. If they happen to see something that they think might turn into an incident, they can't intervene.
What,
they have
see
to just wait until somebody calls
someone else, though, popping someone. What? They're supposed to just drive on? That happens out in there in California, doesn't it?
Well, it does, Jeff. And my guess would be that there would be a gray area about that one. They may very well, put it this way. I think that definitely if they were to see somebody, kind of stalking up on somebody like they were going to take them out, they wouldn't be allowed to do anything. That's what
I mean, Dave.
That's the extent of it. I mean, it's the thugocracy.
Crimes instead of turning up after it's all done.
Yeah. Well, exactly, Jeff, and that's kind of goes into what Paul Watson was saying about the hysterical cult. Criminals get to run amok, and decent people are being shut down and arrested. Somebody posts on Facebook that they're angry because some Muslim hit them in the face, and they get arrested and sent to prison for a year and a half. Okay, but if somebody on the East Coast of the United States breaks into a house, there's a district attorney on this coast of the United States that will not prosecute them if they say, oh well, I was tired and I was cold. That they can break into a house though, and they won't get prosecuted. They might get arrested and hauled off, but they won't get prosecuted. I mean, that is what decent, ordinary people are living with here in the United States, and of course it's worse in the UK. We all know this. I mean, the London police, Jeff. Remember, we covered this some time ago. Said that they're no longer going to answer burglary calls right away. They'll just get around to it when they get around to it. It's freaking ridiculous.
It shows how things are deteriorating. This is where you get civilization shutting itself down. I mean, we're seeing it in London. We see the knife crimes, the gun crimes. Everything is over the top. But you get a Muslim mayor. I've just made a hate speech. A Muslim mayor saying that don't worry about this. It's all part and parcel of living in a big city. That's how he told everybody while this epidemic of knifings and murders are going on, which are going through the roof, Dave, But this is where we are. I mean, people are concerned. For your family out there, and before you know it, there could be some shooting or stabbing going on. And that's it. And you get your mayor telling you, your Muslim mayor saying, don't worry about it. It's all part and parcel of living in a big city. Sure. Or you get the police, run, hide, tell. Sure. It's just, ladies and gentlemen, it's like we're living in an alternative universe. This time to me, and probably saying to you, it's just, what's going on, Dave? It's wacky, man.
Well, Jeff, it is wacky, and it is disturbing, and it is bad, and we do need to do what we can to turn it around. But I will tell you that there is some hope, because that's a lot of doom and gloom I just dropped on everybody. But there is a certain amount of hope. The European elections. Sadly, Tommy Robinson did not get his MEP seat, but some other people did, and Salvini was one of them. He did very well. Nationalists throughout Europe did very well, and the European Parliament's going to look way different.
She crushed Macron. She crushed him, mate.
Well, you know what, Jeff? I actually, my friend, I have got an audio, an exclusive Breitbart interview with Marine Le Pen that I will play for you.
Oh, man, you must get in my brain somewhere. Ladies and gentlemen. And it's strange, Dave. I was just thinking about Marine Le Pen, how well she did, and there you, ready to tear up and play it to all of our great listeners out there. That is pretty cool, man.
Hey, we on the English Defense League radio show, we go where we please, and we please where we go. Now, Jeff, this and listeners, this is a kind of long one. This is about 8 minutes and 10 seconds. But this comes from Breitbart.
I'll take my break in between it now then, Dave.
Just
Jeff, looking at time, I'm almost up to that.
Yeah.
So, Dave.
Okay.
Yeah, just roll it, brother. I'll be back ASAP, right. Ladies and gentlemen.
I shall. And guys, this is from Breitbart, and this is their exclusive interview with Marine Le Pen. And this, guys, is the English Defense League radio show. This is going to take about 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Here we go.
Exclusive. Marine Le Pen. Emmanuel Macron should definitely resign, but he has neither the honesty to do it, nor the panache. By Matthew Boyle on May 27, 2019. Marine Le Pen, the leader of the National Rally Party in France, in a Breitbart News exclusive interview on Monday called on French President Emmanuel Macron to resign the presidency, but said he is not honest or bold enough to recognize his worldview has been defeated. In the United Kingdom, Le Pen noted, David Cameron stepped down as Prime Minister when the British people voted to leave the European Union back in 2016. And in 2019, Le Pen noted, Prime Minister Theresa May announced her plans to resign after the Brexit Party defeated her party and all others in the UK's European Parliament elections. Le Pen told Breitbart News that Macron should definitely follow Cameron's and May's leads and resign from the French presidency. But Macron has neither the honesty to do it, nor the panache to do it, Le Pen said. Even if Macron hangs on to the presidency and refuses to resign despite the stinging defeat in this weekend's elections, Le Pen told Breitbart News that Macron must dissolve parliament immediately and hold new elections as soon as possible. They should happen immediately because of yesterday's results, but mostly because of Macron's posture during the election, where he was not the warrantor of the constitution but he became an active player in one of the parties, Le Pen said in a more than 20-minute phone interview on Monday in the wake of her party's win over Macron's in the European Union elections. Once he engaged, it became his personal responsibility. He should take into consideration the results and call for elections. Le Pen's National Rally, rebranded from the old National Front party her father founded that she took over, surged into first place in the European Union elections in France this weekend. Le Pen's party won more than 24% of the vote compared with Macron's Republic on the Move, which finished under 22%. Speaking through a translator via phone for the exclusive interview on Monday, Le Pen explained the victory and why she believes her party won, while Macron's was defeated. There are two main reasons. One is a European reason, and the other is on a national basis. Macron, in the early stages of the campaign, presented himself as the leader of the European Union that the French people do not want anymore, Le Pen said. The European Union despises the people. The European Union protects unfair competition, specifically with products coming from China. And more than anything, the European Union is fully open to immigration to the European Union that will be submerged. Yellow Vest protesters have been blaming Macron for losing the election. Le Pen said that while the Yellow Vest impact on the election is difficult to assess, the bigger point is that people feel disenfranchised and not represented properly in their government. It is difficult to assess, but an essential part of our dysfunctional democracy in France, which is the lack of representativity of the National Assembly in France, Le Pen said. We are the first party in France with 24% yesterday in the European elections, and yet our party has 6 members in parliament out of 577. When democracy is so badly treated, it only can create tensions that are most likely irreversible. Le Pen has been campaigning on the narrative that the battle is no longer between the traditional left and right, but instead between the top and bottom, a globalists versus nationalists fight, and the contrast offers voters in elections around the world a clear choice. Globalism is a post-national spirit, Le Pen said when asked to explain the differences between globalism and nationalism. It carries a notion that borders must disappear, including the protection that such borders usually brings to a nation. It carries the concept that overwhelming markets decide about everything. This concept about globalism is pushed by technocrats that are never elected, and they are the typical type of person who runs things in Brussels in the European Union. The people that believe in nations, the nationalists, it's the exact opposite. They believe that nations are the most efficient way to protect national security, prosperity, and identity, to make sure the people will prosper in the nations. Le Pen, when asked by Breitbart News about how some critics of nationalism point to the dark history of nationalism in Europe to criticize it, shot down such criticisms as efforts to defame those who believe in the ideology. The objective of the globalists is to discredit anyone who defends a nation, and to shame them or to defame them, Le Pen said. It's specifically because a nation is the ground where democracy applies, where the people can decide. They do know that the people in fact do not agree with globalism. France was not alone over the weekend in electing right-wing nationalists to power in the European elections. In Italy, for instance, Matteo Salvini's League Party won big, and Le Pen says she looks forward to working with him in advancing the ideas of nationalism against globalism. Le Pen said there is great enthusiasm across Europe because of an unconditional love that nationalists have been expressing for their countries. What is being done, what these parties are doing right now, is a source of great enthusiasm, Le Pen said. Never since the beginning of the European Union has the possibility of a Europe of nations been so close. This is the reason why globalists are so violent and aggressive toward Matteo Salvini. but we are carried by something they cannot touch, that they cannot reach, an unconditional love we feel for our country and for our people. She said she sees National Rally, her party in France that just won big over Macron's globalists, as being in a central place in this new rising coalition. A central place, both delegations, the French and Italian, will be the largest national groups within this coalition at the European Parliament. Matteo Salvini and myself have always worked together very closely, even when we were both smaller on the political stage, and we have a way of seeing things and of working together, Le Pen said when asked where she sees herself in the National Rally in the bigger picture. While Italian and French nationalists are perhaps the closest in terms of working together, others from other countries, notably the Brexit Party led by Nigel Farage in the United Kingdom and nationalists in Poland and Hungary as well, have been on the rise throughout Europe. Le Pen said that it is important for those who see the world similarly to work together to take on the globalists. What is going on in Europe right now is of historical magnitude, Le Pen told Breitbart News. Patriots from all countries must unite. But, she noted, it will be tougher for all nationalists to unite because of differences in opinion on some things. Even though, she said, French nationalists have always defended core principles of nationalists in other nations. Getting together is a long trip, Le Pen said. In the European Parliament, we have always defended the idea that Hungary and Poland have a right to defend their people within the European Union. Same for the United Kingdom, we have always defended the idea that they were free to leave the European Union if they wanted to, as they expressed in their vote. We believe this is at the core of defending democracy. One does not negotiate with such essential notions. When asked if her vision aligns with that of President Donald Trump here in the United States, Le Pen said that if he believes in sovereignty, borders, and the right of a people to protect their national interest, then they do. She also said it was definitely easier to take on the globalists in Europe with Trump in the White House here in the United States. This was used against us during the European election, Le Pen said. The overwhelming power of the economy, the desire to defend popular classes, the middle class, our refusal of uncontrolled, unrestrained immigration, the idea that protectionism is an idea to offer social benefits to countries that are importing goods, the belief that identity of the people has to be defended, are all definitely common points with President Trump.
And that is it for this time. Next time, Part 3. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for listening, and may your God go with you. Goodbye. The Unpleasant Blind Guy is copyright 2019. Anno Domini.